Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Lena. Welcome back to another video. So today I want to give you some recommendations because honestly I love to do recommendations videos. Those are my favorites and I just can't help it. So today I'm going to talk to you about all the books that I haven't talked about in a while. So this basically is a mix of fantasy, science fiction, thrillers. There's a lot of weird things here, even a little bit of horror too, but it's basically about all of those books that I really talk about from time to time, but it's been a little bit of time. Some of these are favorites of mine that I only talked about them maybe once a year, and some of them are like 4 stars or even 3 stars that I actually really enjoyed for what they were, and I haven't talked about them since. So let's get started. The first one that I have here is The Painted Man by Peter B. Brett. This is one of my favorite series, honestly. It still is. I'm still very excited for the sequel series, even though I'm scared because I kind of hate sequel series. But this series is great. I love it. I feel like this got a little bit of hate as of late. I don't know why. I actually really like it, especially book 2, which is from the perspective of the bad guy that shows up here. It was fucking great, honestly. It's just like his life story, the same way that this is the hero's life story. In here, we're basically going to follow Arlen. And once, when he was little, he saw his mother die, basically. Well, not died. She was killed by a demon, because in this world, demons come out of night and they form out of thin air, basically. And it's just such a cool concept. And for protecting against those demons, you have to just make these wards in stuff. The stronger you make the ward with, the stronger it is basically at repelling these monsters. And it's just so cool, dude. But once he saw his mother died, he comes into this, he goes into this quest of revenge against these demons. And it's just fucking great, dude. I do have to say, first books, I think they're the best, but I was so into this series and these characters. By the end of it, I feel like it's very epic in proportion. Like you get to know the whole world, the whole cast of characters, and it's just so insane, dude. So insane. I love this series so much. It was one of my favorite series for a long time. It's just not on the top 10 now, but definitely on the honorable mentions. I just love it so much. The sequel series, the first book is called The Desert Prince, and the sequel is coming out very soon, so I'm really excited. Also, this is definitely dark fantasy, so I will highly recommend it if you like dark or grim dark fantasy. I know that it's kind of cheating putting this here, taking into account that I just talked about this one, but The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, I actually love this book too. It's turning out strong, honestly, this video. But I actually really liked it. In this one, you're going to follow Aiden. Very similar names in here too. He finds himself trapped in this house, and this stranger comes at him and says, the only thing you need to do is find out who killed Evelyn Hardcastle, and then you'll be free. And for that, he has 7 days in 7 different bodies to just gather every bit of information to solve this murder. And there's also a dude hunting him on the way. It's just great. I love this one so much. You've probably heard about it, but honestly, it's one of my favorite sci-fi mysteries of all time. I just cannot help it. I don't think I have anything similar to this. When I want something like very sci-fi and very mystery focused, I just read this. It surprised me every time, even though I already know the plot twist. But it's just great. Like, in a way, I think that I only have like these and 6 Wakes that are just like this type of mystery. But it's just fantastic, honestly. Then we have here The Wolf of Oren-Yaro. I never know how to pronounce it, honestly. I think this got a lot of traction a couple of years ago, but then fell into a little bit of a forgotten hole, honestly. But this is the first book on the Chronicles of the Beach Queen. This book follows Taline. She was abandoned by her husband, and then she gets a letter from him, basically, years later, being just like, hey, you wanna meet up? And sadly she goes. Sadly, she goes. But honestly, I really like her. I do have to say that I was hoping for her to be a little bit of a more of a boss bitch, but she wasn't that one in this book. She was more of a figure here that was supposed to be like that. But I really like this series. I do really need to read book 3. Yet it's over there somewhere. I really need to read that one, but it didn't have an audiobook, so it made me really mad because I really like this series on audio. So yeah, I still really like it. It's very like different from your traditional fantasy, so I highly recommend it. And it also has, not this one particularly, but it really has like a good chunk of political maneuvering and intrigue. So highly recommend it. Then we have here City of Lies. This is always my video. My excuse, recording this video is always my excuse to talk about this series. I just love it so much. City of Lies is a very heavy political maneuvering and intrigue book. Yes, it's about a city that is under siege, and you're going to follow 2 siblings. One is the tester for the newly appointed king, sorry, not queen. And the other one is his sister, basically. She is more of like the political element. Like, she is the political worm in this world. And I just love it, honestly. I didn't love book 2 Hollow Empire as much as this one. But this is extremely underrated. It's just like, oh my god, it's so slow. It's not slow. It's a fucking siege. It's a fucking siege. Like, there's not that much stuff you can do on a siege. You know, you have to wait and plan. But yeah, honestly, really recommend it. I will never shut up about this one. It's not like it's just like my favorite, but I think it's just so good. And it got good with time, you know? The first time that I read it, I was like, okay, sure. But then I was just like, this is actually good. This is actually really good. And I really like that it has different type of poisons in between chapters. It's great. And book 2 has different type of deaths because of these poisons. Fantastic. Fantastic. It's just such a cool detail, honestly. Then we have here Winds of Strife. The thing is, I'm including this here because even though I'm patiently waiting for the sequel, I will be reading a book set on this world following one of the characters very soon, an arc of it. So I will probably be talking about it very soon. But in here, if you like dark fantasy, you have a friend. This is going to be following Nye. He is a witch hunter. But the thing is, he's a witch hunter only because he really wants to destroy the organization from inside. So we're going to follow him in this path of vengeance, and it's great, honestly. It's quite gory. I wouldn't say like very over the top, but it's definitely on the darker side. So if you like dark fantasy, once again, I highly recommend it. I really like Nye as a character. I like him so much. So yeah, I highly recommend it. I just love that he's just willing to do absolutely everything. He's just like, do I need to be killing people for 15 years? Then I will do it. Because then I can kill the king. Do it if you like morally great characters. Another dark fantasy. Another on the village green. I never shut up about this book. I know it. But I'm also patiently waiting for book 2. This is a book for the people out there who likes Dark Souls games. I know that it was said to be the 11th cycle. It was a lie. This is the one. This is definitely the one. It literally has the same mechanics. Like, you get into this very like infested town. Each time you die, you start over again from the bonfire. It's very terrifying also. Like, this is truly like horror and gore on a book. It's fantastic. So in here we're going to follow Lance. It's not a name on itself, more of a title of the religion of the Chained God, basically. He is sent out there to actually defeat evil, basically. And he gets stuck in this village, trying to find out what the hell happens and why time is repeating itself each time he dies. It's just great. It's just great. I love this one so much. It's just so good, dude. I feel like I might need to reread it, honestly. But it's also on the shorter side. I highly recommend it. I'm excited as fuck for book 2, honestly. And then we have here more political intrigue. This is the Conselor. And the thing is, I read this because, honestly, it just oozes political intrigue. Because this is basically about the death of a queen and her appointing her best friend, the Conselor, basically. She gets to decide who is the next ruler is going to be. And it's fucking great. And honestly, I really need to reread this. I'm gonna put it on my TBR pile over there right now. But this was really good. I do have to say that it wasn't exactly what I was hoping for. But in general, I actually think it delivered. So if you're looking for a more like political focused book, definitely check this one out. I thought it was standalone, but it's actually not. It's a series, so I'll be looking forward to book 2 also. Then these last 4, I haven't talked about them in a long time. But the first one is the Phlebotomist. I love this. Do you love books about vampires? I love them too. But this is more about like unconventional type of vampires. So in here, we are set in a dystopian future where people are mandated to basically donate blood. And for that, we have the figures of the phlebotomists. So our main character is a phlebotomist, and one day she finds out that maybe this whole society is not what it really is. Shocker, I know, dystopia. But I'm not going to say anything else about it. I just fucking love it so much. Like, I really, really like it. I really want to read his newest book. I think his book came out last year, if I'm not mistaken. Priest Panettiers, next one. And I really like this one, so I really want to read the other one. But it's also a standalone, and I'm really bad at buying standalones. But yeah, I highly recommend this one if you're looking for like a very fast read and a very enjoyable one. Like, this is super cool, and it's just like a cool, I wouldn't say twist, but a cool take on dystopian futures. Then, because I'm just lazy and I do not want to grab it because it's higher than 2 meters, honestly, 3 Dark Crowns. You might be thinking, you do not read YA fantasy. This one is actually good. And I just really like it. And I binge read the whole series. Because I feel like a lot of people go into this one thinking that it's going to be your average, like YA fantasy that is very fast and just super enjoyable and you can just book right after another. But it's really not. It's actually a very slow-paced type of series. And it's basically about 3 sisters. And they need to fight to the death to decide who is going to be the next queen. Does it really sound bad? I don't think so. I think it sounds great. It really sounded great, honestly. I just listened to these ones in like a week. So yeah, I remember listening to the audiobooks for these books like in just a week. I was just so into it. And I really liked it. It's just like very cheesy at times, but it's also very dark for being YA, honestly. So I highly recommend it. The plot was actually really cool. And I actually really like the sisters, especially one of them. I don't really want to spoil anything, so I won't say which one, because the reason why I like her so much is because of her power. It's just great, because of course each one of them has different powers. It's just great, honestly. Like, you also have like these 3 different factions, and the queens belong to one of them, so one of them is going to rule. It's really cool, honestly. It's really cool. Then another YA one that I absolutely adore. This is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I just recently gave this one to one of my friends as a gift. And I just like this so much. We both studied criminology together, so it was just like the perfect gift for us. There was a bit of a controversial take for this book because it changed places in the story depending on where you bought it. I think I got mine from Angry Robot, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if this is the UK or the US one. Yeah, Great Britain, definitely. So I got the good one. But the other one, was it even like a different surname? I don't think so. But definitely Tom had a different name in the other version of the book, which was really weird. But I actually really like this. So in here, we're going to follow Pippa. And she has always been obsessed with, well, not always, for later here. She was obsessed with figuring out who killed Andy Bell. She was schoolgirl in the same school as her. And everyone thought it was the boyfriend, basically. And she was just like, no, it wasn't. So she is trying to use this paper assignment that she has to do to actually find out who did it. It's really cool, honestly. I think like it's just like the most like grounded YA thriller that I've ever read. It's just really cool. It could be, I mean, I don't want it to be possible, but it could be. And it's really cool. And the main character is fantastic in here. Pippa is just fucking great. So yeah, I highly recommend it, honestly. And then another one of my favorites, which I will be reading this month because I feel like horror and vampires. The book club. So the Southern Book Club's Guide to Murder Vampires. No, to slaying vampires. This has the most complicated name that I've ever said on a video. This is one of my favorite authors. This is one of my favorite books. I just love it so much. It's basically, it reminded me a lot of Fright Night. Love it so much. But it's basically, oh my god, it's already 7 p.m. I need to leave. And here we're going to follow Patricia, and Patricia is a housewife basically. Her life is very boring. She needs to take care of the kids of her husband. You know how this goes. This is also set in the 70s or 80s. I think it was. And it basically, she is basically obsessed with a true crime and thrillers, and they assemble a book club until one day she finds that maybe her new husband, her new neighbor is not really as friendly as he seems. And you know, it all goes from there. You do not need that many clues to figure out what's going on. But yeah, I love this one. I love following Patricia. I feel like this is also like very grounded for being a vampire story. So honestly, and I love the ending. I love the ending. It's one of my favorite parts. But yeah, I will be listening to this one again very soon. So yeah, have you read any of these? Do you have like that book that you do not recommend often but you really like? In that case, just let me know down in the comments below. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye!